It's late 2020 right now at the time of recording this video, and Nintendo still has a terrible Joy-Con drift problem. Today we're going to be talking about everything that's been transpiring regarding the Joy-Con issue, as well as what you can do about it as a customer. If you find this video helpful at all, please be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing if you're new around here. With that all out of the way, let's talk about Joy-Con drift. Okay, first let me just say, ever since I was a little kid, I've always been a huge Nintendo fan. My earliest gaming memories were me playing on my Atomic Purple Game Boy Color or my Super Nintendo, which I still own today. On the N64, I spent countless hours playing Mario Kart, Banjo-Kazooie, and Conker's Bad Fur Day. When my mom wasn't watching, of course. As a gamer, Nintendo has been a big part of my life. In fact, the Switch is probably my personal favorite gaming console ever. And Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games of all time. I'm saying all this because I want you to understand that this is not coming from a place of like petty anger, and I'm not making this video to take kind of cheap shots on an easy topic. Nintendo, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Okay, I'm a little bit mad because these things are fucking expensive. Okay, so let's kind of back things up a bit in case you're new to the whole Joy-Con drift issue. Shortly after the Switch's launch, many reports of false input detection on the Switch's thumbsticks, also known as Joy-Con drift, this issue began to rapidly spread amongst the Switch user base. This issue eventually became widespread enough where a class action lawsuit was eventually filed by a Ryan Diaz, a Switch owner who claimed that the Joy-Con were in fact defective. After this lawsuit was filed, the president of Nintendo himself issued an apology apologizing for the inconvenience caused by Joy-Con drift, but he couldn't speak more on the matter due to the pending lawsuit. Shortly after all of this happened, Nintendo started offering free repairs on Joy-Con that had drift issues, even if they were past their warranty date, with no questions asked. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I will be showing how to submit a ticket for a Joy-Con repair. Okay, so Nintendo is offering free repairs. Problem solved, right? Well, not exactly. You see, even though Nintendo is still offering free repairs, it's only for certain regions. Not to mention, the problem is still occurring to the fixed and newer store-bought Joy-Con. This insinuates heavily that Nintendo either has a manufacturing or design issue with the Joy-Con themselves. And after all this time, they still have yet to fix the issue. I myself have sent in these red Joy-Con for repair once already, and they both drift horribly again. I've only used them for a couple months since receiving them. I do have a second set that I can use, but those are starting to show drifting problems as well. And come on, these things are $70 a set. At that price, they should function for at least more than a few months. And if you send your Joy-Con off for repair and don't have a backup set or a Pro controller, you're kind of just sitting there with a useless Switch that you can't play on. And it's kind of ridiculous for someone to have to like pick up a Pro controller or another set of Joy-Con just to be able to play on their Switch when they eventually have to send off their Joy-Con to the Nintendo Repair Center. And to make matters worse, even though Nintendo's president did apologize for the inconvenience, according to the lawsuit, Nintendo is claiming that the Joy-Con drift isn't an inconvenience and isn't a problem to the customers. On one hand, Nintendo wants to stay in the good graces of the customer, but on the other hand, on the legal side of things, they don't want to admit to any wrongdoing. Nintendo, you can't have your cake and eat it too. So why are the Joy-Con and the Switch Lite experiencing drift problems, and what can you do about it? Most commonly, it's caused by the joystick scratching material off the top of its PCB. Eventually, this residue collects on the pad and interferes with the sensor, causing false input or preventing certain inputs to be registered at all. There are a few things that you can do if your Joy-Con or your Switch Lite is experiencing drifting problems. The first quick solution is to take a can of some dust remover or electrical contact cleaner and spray it under the flaps of the sticks. I found the contact cleaner to be much more successful than the dust remover, but this is kind of a temporary fix, as once I do try the contact cleaner or the dust remover, the drift always seems to return, so it's just kind of more like a band-aid solution than anything. If you're feeling adventurous or you don't want to wait for your stuff to get repaired, you can always try replacing the joystick yourself. I'll leave an affiliate link to some decent replacement sticks down in the description, as well as some videos that do a great job at showing you how to replace your thumbsticks for either the Joy-Con or the Switch Lite. And of course, the other option is to file a repair ticket with Nintendo. You can do this by simply calling Nintendo yourself, or just hop onto the computer and file an e-ticket report, which I will show you how to do right now. Right off the bat, I do want to state that this is just for the Joy-Con repair, and this is only for my region, which is in the US. This may be different depending on your region and where you live. However, this is how the general process goes. It's pretty straightforward. All you got to do is go to Google, and we can just type in something like Nintendo Joy-Con repair. And then you just go to Nintendo support. And then here you can create a ticket. For the Joy-Con, it's super simple. For something like the Switch Lite, you're going to most likely want to call Nintendo and set up a ticket through there. But yes, speaking for the Joy-Con repair, all you have to do is go down here and you're going to enter in your Nintendo Switch's serial number. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. The serial number can be found on the bottom of your Switch system, by the way. It's the little barcode at the bottom. Then you're just going to select how many Joy-Con you want to have repaired. I'm going to select 2. And then after that, you're going to go ahead and fill in the info regarding your Joy-Con that you are sending off. So I'm sending in both the left and right Joy-Con, and both of those are the neon red color. And then you're going to go ahead and fill in your personal information, your phone number, your email, and your shipping address as well. After that, go ahead and click Submit Help Ticket. Once you do that, you should get this message that your ticket has been officially submitted. And basically, you're just going to wait for an email to arrive. Usually it takes about a day to receive the email, at least in my experience, and then I will show you the last bit of info that you will need. Okay, so this is the email that you will be receiving after your order has been confirmed and that sort of thing. It'll give you your repair order number. Do not lose this email. Don't delete it. Save this information. But regarding this email, this is kind of the important thing that I wanted to highlight here. So it's pretty straightforward. Nintendo will send you a UPS prepaid shipping label. And the thing that you want to make sure that you do is you want to not only include the Joy-Con that you're sending off to have repaired, or if you're doing a Switch Lite, they're going to send you this email as well. You basically just have to include the item that you're sending off to repair, but then you're also going to want to include a note along with your shipment. So, you can provide your own box or padded envelope, just slap the prepaid shipping label on, and then you're going to provide a note inside the package, including your name, address, and phone number, the repair order number that is provided at the top of the email, and then a brief description of the problem you are having with your system or the Joy-Con, which in this situation, it would be drifting issues with the thumbstick. And this is the last thing that is probably the most important thing that you want to include in this note. It's basically a list that you want to document of all the items that you are including in the package. For this instance, it would be my 2 neon red Joy-Cons, but if you're, say, sending out a Switch Lite, basically include all of the things that you're putting in the package. So if you're sending out a Switch Lite, include the Switch Lite, maybe what type of model it is, the type of color it is. If it's a special edition like the Pokemon edition, specify that, and then also include whether or not you have additional storage inside of the unit as well. Okay, so just TLDR, in summary, you submit your ticket, then you'll receive this confirmation repair order email, and then shortly after this email, you will receive your UPS prepaid label. You'll need to provide your own shipping package. It can be a shipping envelope, or it can be just a small box. Put the Joy-Con or the Switch Lite that you're sending out, along with the note with all of the specified information that you are going to need to put on there. Slap the label on the box or the envelope and ship it out. With COVID, it's hard to say how long the repair process will be, but both when I shipped out my Joy-Con as well as my son's Switch Lite for repair, this took maybe about 2 weeks or so, both for shipping out and then receiving. So yeah, it sucks if you have a Switch Lite because you're left without a game system to play on, but if you do have the normal Nintendo Switch, I would strongly advise in investing in a third-party controller so you can at least play it in dock mode. Okay, before you send out your Joy-Con or your Switch Lite for repair, there is one more thing that I do want to mention. Going back to the class action lawsuit with Nintendo, Nintendo did try to dismiss the entire case. Fortunately, that request was denied by a judge, but this case is now going to be going to arbitration. I think I used that term correctly. What that basically means is one or more individuals will be hearing arguments and seeing evidence from both parties, the plaintiff and Nintendo, and will basically make their judgment on that. Now that this case is going into arbitration, the law firm that is going against Nintendo is requesting that people who have experienced JoyCon drift to submit video evidence essentially to this law firm so that they can present it in the case. Essentially, this is just kind of a way to humanize the situation and kind of show how many people are still experiencing this problem. So if you would like to participate in this, I will leave a link to the Reddit thread that gives you more info along with the email address to send your video to. But basically, this is what the law firm wants. First off, your video has to be 90 seconds or less. Begin by identifying why you originally purchased the Switch or any relevant details about your background as a long-standing Nintendo fan. Describe all of the problems or issues you experienced related with the drift problem on your Joy-Con controllers. If you've had multiple repairs and had to contact Nintendo several times, please explain whether it was successful in the end. Please provide any details about how long you estimate having to spend on the phone with them, how many replacement Joy-Cons you received, and whether any of those failed again, and if so, what happened. If you want Nintendo to know how this has affected your confidence in the Nintendo brand or the likelihood that you would ever buy another Nintendo product again, you are free to convey those feelings. Mind you, even though Joy-Con was specifically mentioned in this kind of outline, anybody experiencing this issue with the Switch Lite can also submit their video as well. I will be personally submitting a video to the law firm showing off my Joy-Con that are experiencing drift, because honestly, in my opinion, this is probably the best way that we can get Nintendo to kind of pay attention and to basically kind of light a fire under them to try and fix this situation. If this is something that has affected you and you're really upset about it and want to kind of get involved or do something, check out the link in the description. I still love Nintendo for its games, and I still love my Switch, but this system has been out since 2017. And this is a problem that really needs to be fixed. But that about does it for this one, ladies and gentlemen. As always, thank you so much for watching the video and checking out the channel. If you like this video or you found it helpful in any way, please be sure to leave a like, as it is one of the best ways to help our video get seen by the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more content like this one, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell icon. We upload new videos every Monday and Friday, as well as live stream on Wednesdays. But yeah, that's about enough rambling out of me. Thank you again, as always, for watching the video. My name is Blake. This has been a Digital Cynic experience, and for all things tech, games, movies, and other nerdy things in between, be sure to subscribe to Digital Cynics. Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next time.